Scott Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for being here with us. Great to have you. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Oh, this is kind of fun. Yesterday, Uganda punched back at Facebook and Twitter by banning them from the internet after the two companies started censoring Ugandan officials before the election, the big nationwide election in the country. We demand that Facebook and Twitter write directly to the individuals that lost their accounts. Since Facebook cited somebody's address in their statement, let them write to us so that there's a chance for a fair hearing. Accounts lost on Facebook belong to government Uganda employees, and so they're pissed off that Twitter and Facebook are both messing with them, and so they banned them. They banned them from their country. What a delicious turn of events. Could that be any tastier? Well, yes, kind of, because Twitter, amazingly, tweeted out that ahead of the Ugandan election, we're hearing reports that internet service providers are being ordered to block social media and messaging apps. We strongly condemn internet shutdowns. They are hugely harmful, violate basic human rights and the principles of the open internet.
Oh, my. What do you do with that?
That is as unself-aware a statement as I've ever heard from anybody at any time, anywhere.
Hypocrisy much?
Gosh, jeez.
I can't. Man.
They went on earlier this week in close coordination with our peers. We suspended a number of accounts targeting the election in Uganda. If we can attribute any of this activity to state-backed actors, we will disclose to our archive of information operators. And then blah, blah, blah. Twitter, here's the end of their statement. Twitter stands for the open internet. The free flow of information are more vital than ever. We're supporting Access Now and the global Keep It On coalition to oppose internet shutdowns. As they have shut down the president of the United States and how many tens of thousands, maybe hundreds, maybe millions of people. I don't know how many are gone. But mostly it was Twitter shutting them down, not people canceling their accounts. I mean, that is crazy. So, good for Uganda to shut them down. But for Twitter, you seriously have the balls to make that statement right now? I mean, it boggles the mind. It's almost too impossible to believe, and yet it's right in front of our face. It is reality.
And that stock price has gone down, let's see, roughly $54 to $47 since then.
Wow. So they're getting what they've got coming to them.
That's the only way they will respond.
Yeah.
Is if it hurts their pocketbook.
Absolutely. And look how indignant they are when the shoe's on the other foot.
That's got to be, set that aside as the early front runner for the funniest tweet of 2021 and not even intending to be funny.
Yeah. Right. I mean, these are just amazing bad actors. Jack Dorsey, Mark Zuckerberg, everybody at Apple who runs that place. The Google douchebags. Mm-hmm. Really amazing. We're in a very strange, very bizarre, very dangerous place right now. Project Veritas has released yet another video. The PBS principal counsel, Michael Beller, encouraging indoctrination. Listen to some of what he had to say.
Then when Biden wins, we'll go through all the Republican voters and Homeland Homeland Security will take the children.
Whoa.
Pause that for a second.
Whoa.
Can you roll that back so we can read it? It's a little bit hard to understand.
Whoa.
But just start it over again and then turn down the sound for a minute, because you have to understand what this guy is saying, not knowing, of course, that he's being recorded. Can you start that?
And when Biden wins,
Okay, pause it now. Even if Biden wins, we go for all the Republican voters, and Homeland Security will take their children away.
And who's this guy again? Michael Beller, Principal
Counsel for PBS.
For public broadcasting?
Yeah, that's the one.
Wait, so the Sesame Street. Okay.
Yeah. Which they've now admitted after 50 years that, yeah, that's liberal. Yeah, we're trying to indoctrinate your children. So now they want Homeland Security to take away the children of Republicans and do what with them? He goes on.
all the Republican voters and Homeland Security will
Take their children away. What do you think about that?
Haha. Re-education camps.
And we'll put them into re-education camps.
Times are unique. Trump is close to Hitler.
Gotta be kidding me. What are you gonna do if Biden doesn't win? Go to the White House and throw Molotov cocktails. Oh, he says with a smile. That's nuts.
Tax dollars.
Kids who are growing up knowing nothing but Trump, for 4 years, you gotta wonder what they're going to be like. Are we raising a generation
Of intolerant, horrible.
So what are kids going to be like raised in the Trump generation, he's saying?
Pause it. They're gonna be a generation of intolerant, horrible people. You mean like you? I mean, you are talking about putting people in re-education camps, Hitler-like, while comparing Trump to Hitler, and while saying that they're going to be essentially in concentration camps. That's what you're in favor of. And with no self-awareness on the irony of calling other people Nazis, he's outlining his Nazi plan.
And effectively, you're paying that guy's salary. If you're paying your tax dollars, go to PBS. That's their attorney.
Right. Right. So another huge revelation from James O'Keefe and Project Veritas, and then another one that will obviously be completely ignored by everybody. Completely ignored. It's really pretty difficult to do the show right now. I mean, I don't know what to tell you every day. This is unlike anything that's ever happened in my lifetime. I don't believe anything like this. This mass fascism, this mainstream acceptance of socialism, communism, and oppression. I really don't think anything like this has happened in the United States before, ever. We're at a place now where it's really uncomfortable and unpleasant to pay attention to what's happening, but at the same time, it's never been more important to pay attention because we have to put a stop to this. Most listening and watching, I think, know that I'm LDS, a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. All my life I've been taught that Marxism isn't just a bad political and economic idea or practice, but that it is actual evil. And I believe that with everything in me. There's a book written by one of our church leaders who also happened to be a cabinet member in the Eisenhower administration, Ezra Taft Benson. He was president of the church, but he was also secretary of agriculture at the same time. Well, he wasn't president of the church at this time, but later on. Anyway, he wrote a book in 1969 called An Enemy Hath Done This. And whether you're LDS or not, I think you'd be fascinated and enlightened by reading it. Part of the point of the book is that if America is ever taken down, it won't be from some force outside our borders. It will be taken down from within. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So the point is, I believe it's my responsibility to fight against it, and yours too. And even if you don't believe, as I do, that Marxism came directly from Satan to Marx and from Marx to Lenin and the world, hopefully you at least understand how destructive it is and how antithetical it is to our Constitution and everything Americans believe in. We have to educate our youth on what's going on right now. They have to know what socialism has done to this planet. They have to know that socialism, communism is responsible for more death and destruction to the tune of over 100 million dead, more than any other cause of death in world history, with the possible exception of infectious disease. Our kids don't understand that. They don't have any idea. If they have any clue at all about socialism, they think it means equal justice for people. They're told that it means democracy. That's why Democrats always use the term. You know who else used the term democracy or democratic socialism? Vladimir Lenin. In fact, he coined the phrase, and he was afraid of his own people to know what he was really talking about. He was afraid that his own people would revolt if they found out he's actually bringing Marxism to pass in Russia. So please educate your kids, your grandkids, anyone and everyone who will listen to you. It's imperative. People don't understand. The young people don't understand what's at stake here. They've been conditioned to literally believe that there's nothing worse than so-called hate speech. So when someone labels any sort of political speech they disagree with hate speech, you know there's a reason they're using that term, because immediately it shuts down any debate and convinces our youth that they need to be on the side of stopping those people from spewing that hate speech. So the youth they're glad when people are silenced. They want Twitter to silence people. They think it's great because they won't be offended anymore. They don't believe in more voices, not less. They don't believe in the battleground of ideas. They think it's better not to have anyone's feelings hurt. It's better not to offend anyone. This is why what Twitter and Facebook and Google are doing, and you can add Apple to that group, it's so effective. Because they've brainwashed a generation of kids, probably 2 generations of Americans, to respond immediately to anything they're told is contrary to social justice. So race, sexual orientation, anything like that where people's feelings are involved, those things are far more important to the youth than liberty or the Constitution. Which brings me to this article from the Federalist that Keith found. This is from Chad Felix of the Federalist. Yeah, this is amazing.
Thank you, Pat Heads, who tagged me on this wonderful thread from a few days ago that he had on Twitter. I'm surprised it's still up there, quite frankly.
Yeah, have you checked today? I wonder if it is.
I'm not sure.
I will read this to you. This talks about, a possible solution to this problem, something we really got to concentrate on. We'll get into that in 1 minute. First, let me tell you about Omaha Steaks. If you've ever wondered what makes Omaha Steaks so incredibly good, it's the aging process. Omaha Steaks ages their steaks at least 21 days. So for 3 weeks, they're being aged because that's the sweet spot. It's where the magic happens. You could try those mouth-watering steaks in their new Butcher's Best Sellers Grill Pack, which includes 4 of their iconic and fork-tender Butcher's cut filet mignons. Call them fork tender because you can literally cut them with a fork. That's how tender they are. 4 ultra-juicy burgers, 4 savory pork chops. You get the desserts like the apple caramel tart, which is so good, and so much more. I love these Omaha Steaks. I could eat them every night. Go to omahasteaks.com, enter GRAY, G-R-A-Y, into the search bar for a special price on this Butcher's Best Sellers Pack. Plus, you'll get 4 more chicken breasts and 4 more of those delicious burgers for free. Go to omahasteaks.com, Type the keyword gray into the search bar and order the Butcher's bestseller pack today. Don't forget, you'll get the 4 free chicken breasts and the 4 burgers. That's omahasteaks.com, keyword gray.
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
All right, so this article by Chad Felix of The Federalist. He says the left believes they just survived the parallel to the rise of Nazism in Germany, and they defeated it. They stopped it. They believe all Republicans are 1950s white racists. They feel empowered to live out their civil rights warrior fantasies. They imagine themselves toppling Jim Crow and the Confederacy and the Nazi army all in one fell swoop, and every powerful authority is on their side. They aren't silencing conservative speech. They're eradicating violence, terrorism, racism, and hate from the internet. They're gleeful that we're vulnerable and scared of our voices being suppressed. They think we're the people in old 1950s photos angrily shouting at black school children. We're not people to them. We're symbols of what they feel morally driven to remove from the world. Wow, isn't that the truth? The most powerful people who influence technology see us the same way. We aren't customers. We aren't users. We aren't people with real lives and families and businesses. We are a problem to be solved. And they've been trying to figure out how to solve it for years. And they can finally do it. The reason free market ideals no longer work is because the market is controlled by fewer and fewer people who dominate all options. And those people are ideologically driven to eradicate from society all sources of hate. It's a religious crusade. And we are the target. Chad Felix of The Federalist continues, we cannot reason with them. They see our pleas for fairness like you would imagine a segregationist doing so. They believe that once we're gone, the internet and therefore society will be cleansed, free, peaceful, and able to heal from us. I say us because we're not the ones defining our place in this world. We aren't white supremacists or Nazis or bigots or violent insurrectionists, but the powerful have segregated society into good and bad, and their strict and narrow worldview has placed us here. We're innocent, but it doesn't matter to them. They hate what they imagine we are. They cannot be persuaded otherwise. You can't convince them you're a good person and wrongly categorized. The only people with influence have made up their minds, and they don't care to change it. The only option is a steady civil rights movement to make it illegal, step by step, to do this to us. They won't voluntarily stop. They think they're heroes of this story, fighting for the good of humanity. Each remaining GOP leader must begin now with legal action. Now. This means adding political affiliation to anti-discrimination law in red states. I think he understands that in blue states where Democrats are in control, you're not going to be able to get this done. So start locally in a red state where you can make it happen. At least keep some of our speech in some states, in some areas. But he goes on, we no longer have the luxury of arguing against the idea of protected classes. We are now a marginalized group. Wow, that's true. You need to accept that and believe it. This is a civil rights movement. If you think you're exempt from this because you didn't vote for Trump or you defend businesses with, well, they have a right to, you're just not paying attention. You don't define your status. It's imposed onto you. Just like every prior targeted group, you're a minority now. Mm-hmm. How powerful is that?
Yeah.
So true.
And this guy, Chad Felix Green, he is a married gay man who wrote a book called Without Context, evaluating the anti-LGBT claims against the Trump administration. He took the time to actually go through them and show that this is garbage, these charges against the Trump administration.
Not just a married gay man. He's a married gay trans man.
Oh, wow.
And a Jew. And he's Jewish. So he suffered. This guy knows discrimination.
Right, exactly. He recognizes when freedom is being threatened. Thank you for being intellectually honest and taking the time to write that thread.
Yeah.
Chad Felix Green.
He's got more, too. You're targeted for what you believe, who you're associated with. Be very clear. Your very existence. You cannot change that fact. This has been applied to you. Enough bickering over the philosophical nuances. You're a marginalized minority now. I mean, that's brilliant and so true. And we have to understand how dire the situation is. So he says the first step is adding political affiliation to anti-discrimination and hate crime laws because the left targets us for physical violence. Create the legal framework to force businesses and corporations to defend their discrimination policies. Force them to second-guess them. I mean, this seems like, okay, everything conservatives don't want to do. We don't want more laws. We don't want more special interest groups. We certainly don't want to be a special interest group. Yet, we are because they placed us here.
And we don't have time.
We don't.
We have jobs. We have families to feed. We don't have time to go and stand in the street or go to court or go up through each circuit until it gets to the Supreme Court and it's on national news.
And none of that's working.
I mean, you had a Pathead this morning, and they tagged me in this tragic story of this young man who's 20 years old, has a dream job with a company. I looked this company up. It was it's a private jet company, and they're contracted with the Carolina Hurricanes, National Hockey League team. So someone from the Carolina Hurricanes saw that this kid has worked in the Trump administration on I don't even know what it was, but I mean, he's 20 years old. It can't be that, you know what I'm saying? Somehow he's connected to Trump. Well, his employer got pressure from the Hurricanes.
Oh, I bet they did.
And then they reached out to him before he was about to fly to Raleigh to the Carolina Hurricanes and work with them directly. The night before his flight, he got a call. He was terminated, fired. Sorry, we can't have you part of the team. You know, the Trump thing makes the Carolina Hurricanes uncomfortable. So this kid's devastated. Gosh. He's absolutely devastated. I'll retweet this. It's a heartbreaking thread.
So political affiliation must be added to all of the anti-discrimination stuff.
Precisely what Chad Felix Green is saying there. Yep.
Amazing. It's amazing. He further puts a fine point on this. He says, look, you're now in this group. You're in this minority group now. Your entire online life, your online communication, your digital currency, your job, your health care, your access to the world all depends on this. It's not just Twitter. It can be taken from you for nothing more than a photo or an association. You can't compete with that. So it's time to legally fight back. I mean, that's great stuff.
And that's exactly what the caller, Dan in Pennsylvania, was saying yesterday. And we had the story about the National Association of Realtors.
Oh, yeah.
You tell some off-color joke or something lands wrong with somebody.
You're done.
Then goodbye. You have no job. You have no career.
Because you have no access to the MLS listings, which they have to have as part of their livelihood.
So at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, this thread is still available from Chad Felix Green. And you just retweeted that at Pat Unleashed. If you want to check that out, I will retweet the story of the kid who lost his job, his dream job, because some snowflake that works in the offices of the Carolina Hurricanes doesn't like the fact. Did he say the N-word online? No. Doesn't like the fact that he is associated with the Trump administration in some low-level way. This is exactly what the Lincoln Project is doing.
It's unbelievable. This is really unbelievable. I'll give you another little example of that. It's not political, but it's PC stuff. BYU just lost a couple of their coaches to Baylor, which, by the way, That's a step down, boys, because BYU's football program far superior to Baylor. Always has been, always will be. Step down for you. Sure, you're making more money because they're a so-called Power 5, but it's a step down. Anyway, one of the coaches wanted to take the offensive line coach with him, who now is at Troy, but he was at BYU 2 years ago. He went from BYU last year to Troy to become the offensive coordinator. So Jeff Grimes, who's leaving and going to Baylor, offered this offensive line coach, Ryan Pugh, a job to come with him to Baylor. So they hired him, and then a few hours later, they found something in his past and immediately said, "Yeah, we're rescinding our offer. You're no longer welcome here."
What terrible, dirty laundry did they find, Pat?
I shudder to even think. Was it that he beat up a girlfriend in college? Now, this happened 11 years ago. Whatever it was in his past was 11 years ago in 2010. So did he beat up a girlfriend? Did he rob a bank or a convenience store?
That would be bad.
Yeah, it would. Did he commit manslaughter maybe in a bar fight?
That would be worse.
No, something far more heinous than that. At a costume party for Halloween, he put on blackface.
He should run for Prime Minister of Canada.
Yes, he should.
I mean, that's a prerequisite.
Yes, he should.
I mean, I think that's on the checklist of marketable skills. Have you dressed up multiple times in blackface?
If so, forget about working ever again. Yeah, sorry, you can't work anymore. Is that crazy? I mean, you can't give. The guy was 19 years old when he did it. He's in his 30s now. He's got a family now. He's a responsible human being. He's not doing that kind of stuff anymore. Does that forever need to taint him and keep him from great jobs in his career? Just so stupid.
The school
so ridiculous.
Wants to head off the angry mob chanting around the stadium.
Right. Yes, and that would happen to them.
And losing
would
big-time donors to their program.
Right.
And
rather than defending the guy and saying, look, we're giving him a second chance, okay? It was 11 years ago. He was dumb. It was a stupid thing. Everybody, a lot of people did those stupid things back then. Jimmy Kimmel's still working on the air, isn't he? Mm-hmm. And so is Jimmy Fallon. Both of them have done far more egregious things in blackface than Ryan Pugh, the offensive line coach, has done.
Who's the lady at The View? I use the term lady and The View together for the first time ever.
Oh, it's are you talking about Whoopi Goldberg?
No, Joy Behar.
No, Joy Behar.
She dressed up.
She did it too?
Was she Diana Ross or something?
Oh,
Is that
that's right.
But see, they're Democrats.
But she hates Trump, so it's okay.
Yeah. By the way, I don't want to forget this. You were talking about educate your children on the history of communism. I'm so proud of my 17-year-old daughter. Aslan is reading the Black Book of Communism. It is thick.
Yeah, it is.
And it details everywhere in the world what communists in power have done in the death and destruction. It's the Black Book of Communism, crimes, terror, repression. And she's educating me. I have read a little bit of it, but not nearly as in-depth as she has. And the world needs to learn its history stat.
Sure do.
Because now you've got the most powerful nation on the planet who, in my opinion, is now run in all the branches by people of that persuasion politically. And it's terrifying. So educate your kids, especially before they get rid of these books. We've got one book, got video later of another book trying to, they successfully got it off a shelf. It's the equivalent of book burning, so get them while you can. The Black Book of Communism, not a sponsor.
One of the weird consequences of defeating communism, bringing down the wall, freeing all of Eastern Europe, is that kids don't have that example anymore to look to. They don't have the Iron Curtain and all its oppression to see the fruits of that. Nobody talks about Venezuela and Cuba. Nobody talks about it. And even when they do, Democrats make excuses for them and say, nah, it's not that bad. It's really good, in fact. They have universal health care. Oh, okay. Oof, we're up against it. But we will chew the fat with Jeffy next. Maybe that'll make things better. Okay, so Parler is back up now, right? No? They found a potential server. but they're not on it yet. Is that the deal?
As far as I know. Yeah.
Okay. So
Correct. Yeah, it's not loading.
if it ever gives up, we're gonna make the jump. I don't know if we keep the Twitter account. I don't know. Just figure it
You
out.
got to keep Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see.
I mean, you're only losing what? You've only lost. I haven't even talked about how many. Everybody's complaining about losing followers, but I mean, everybody's losing about 10% so far, something like that.
Ish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And that could grow.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh, it hasn't stopped. I mean, I feel like the Walmart price numbers dropping.
Yeah.
Every day, man.
Well, that 10% in lost followers is kind of the exact equivalent. It mirrors exactly the stock price. 10%
Interesting.
down.
That's
That
fascinating.
is interesting, isn't it?
There are a number of people can call, Ivan.
I think it's right there in front of you.
By the way, we do have some tweets here that came from Twitter. Still, Mandabro tweets: PBS did fire that attorney. The attorney that
the
good.
Veritas had.
Yeah, the Veritas guy.
Good.
Okay. Not that that's a real gain, but something at least. Yes. From Radine, reading the book Glenn recommended, The Devil in Karl Marx, shows how, that's the one from Paul, what's his face, right? Who also did the expose on Barack Obama's communist mentor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, Paul Kangor.
Paul Kangor. It shows how very demonic Marxism is. You know you suck when most of your kids commit suicide rather than stay in the world he created.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And from Jeffy's 18 Spoons, good luck rounding up kids from the Republican households. The homes that are protected by the Second Amendment. True. Yeah. You're not getting my kids. Of course, my kids are adults now. They've got their own Second Amendment homes. All right, 888-900-3393. Time to chew the fat with Jeffy.
This is the one we're going with, huh?
So far. When you get stuck between the moon and New York City, your name is Jeffy. It's true. When you get stuck between the moon and New York City, best that you can do, the best that you can do is chew the fat.
That's so nice. That's so nice. I mean
nice.
that. I mean that.
I gotta find we have to find the kids playing the 2001 Space Odyssey theme.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that, but it's gone. Maybe you can resend that to me.
Let me look for it. Yeah.
All right. Here's Jeffy with chewing the fat.
So lottery Mega Millions last night. No jackpot winner. So right now $750 million on Friday.
Wow.
So 9 people won $1 million last night, and one person won $2 million. I haven't checked my ticket. One person from Texas won $1 million too. So
It's probably you.
still got a shot. I still got a shot. And you have the Powerball, which is Friday night, and that's the Powerball is tonight. That's $550 million.
Wow.
So that's not bad. You still have hope. There's still hope left in this country.
Okay.
Thanks to the lottery.
Sure.
Good news, but be careful what you wish for. Jeff Zucker has notified CNN staff that the CNN airport network will end operations as of March 31st.
Oh, wait a minute.
The steep decline in airport traffic because of COVID-19, coupled with all the new ways that people are consuming content on their personal devices, has lessened the need.
Yeah. I'd say that there are as many people enjoying CNN Airport today as there was a year ago. I mean, you're a captive audience, man. It's just dreadful.
This past weekend was, of course, wild card weekend for the NFL, and it marked the first time we didn't talk about what we were doing more on trivia, but 5 quarterbacks age 37 or older started in the same playoffs in NFL history. You had Tom Brady, 43, Drew Brees, 41, Phillip Rivers, 39, Ben Roethlisberger, 38, Aaron Rodgers, 37.
Jeez.
And so I saw a graphic that was put up during the Tampa Bay Bucks game Saturday night when Tom Brady became the oldest player to throw a TD pass in a playoff game. And the side-by-side shows what different times we live in, man. Look at Tom Brady. That's the oldest. 43 years, 159 days as of Saturday night. George Blanda is who he beat out. 43 years. 108 days. And Blanda looks like
he looks like he's 65 years
he's
old.
100 years old.
Look, when you're not allowed to fall onto the quarterback.
Yeah.
And current NFL rules.
A little
it's gonna
better
protect your
preserved.
face and
Look at him.
I know. I mean, George Blanda. I mean, come on. Now, George would have had a pack of smokes and a 6-pack of beer before the games. You know that.
He kicked too.
Different times. Yeah. Different times, no question. But Blanda even, like you have the George Blanda book that he wrote, Over 40, looking great, feeling great, looking good.
Great. No, you're really not.
You still, I mean, Brady's got his TB12. I'm not sure which one you're going with. Either TB12 or George Blanda 40, feeling good, looking good. Not real sure which one you're picking, but there you have it. I mean, it's different times, right? I mean, we've talked about that off the air several times, but looking at the pictures of, our grandparents and our great-grandparents who were in the pictures younger than many of us are now.
Mm-hmm. Looking rough.
A lot older, man.
Yep.
Oof. With the events of the past week, it's very possible that this is coming to a kitchen near you very soon. From at Remasculate, we're sorry your Amazon smart refrigerator has denied you access to your groceries because you've questioned climate science at dinner last night. Send $50 to Greta Thunberg via the Cash App to have your access restored.
Seriously, though. Seriously.
That's almost not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost not funny.
That almost feels like a year from now we'll be sitting here. Remember when we had that story about that hypothetical refrigerator?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a real thing now, huh?
Yep, it sure is. NASCAR driver Haley Deegan is going to be required to undergo sensitivity training. Mm-hmm. She's lucky she didn't get kicked out of NASCAR, but
and put in prison.
She's considered a rising star in the sport. In 2018, became the first woman to win a race in NASCAR's K&N Pro Series West. The 19-year-old used a word Sunday night after her car was bumped in iRacing, which is the simulation that sometimes broadcast live by the professional racers.
Did she cuss on the air?
Well, I'm going to play what she said, but remember, this is her now. Oh, no. This is not me. It's not us.
Oh, no.
It's her. And this is what she had to say.
This is fun. Oh, hey, who's the retard behind me? Don't do that, please.
Oh, wait, what?
She used the R word.
Oh, my gosh.
Wait, there's an R word now?
That's an R word.
There's an R word. Yes.
Oh.
And trouble she is in. She, of course,
has apologized profusely.
It was inappropriate slang and stupid thing to do. And
right.
I apologize to everyone who was offended by it. And there's
she was
no
immediately
excuse for it.
With boycotting your sponsors. And drowning her out of NASCAR.
She's got to complete the sensitivity training before the 2021 season starts in February.
Right.
So, I mean, remember, never to use the word.
Nope.
This is fun. Oh, hey, who's the retard behind me? Don't do that, please.
I mean, it's horrific. I apologize for airing it, Pat. I know. I know.
Wow.
It's just.
You believe he brought that to your show?
I can't believe it.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe it.
I mean, the hate.
It's so bad. Before I tell you about Mike Milbury being out at NBC Sports, let me remind you to subscribe to Chewing the Fat podcast, available wherever you get your podcast. iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, plethora of other platforms out there. Just subscribe to Chewing the Fat podcast. Now, Mike Milbury out at NBC Sports.
I don't know who he is.
NHL announcer, former coach.
Oh.
The move comes in the wake of his comments during the Islanders-Capitals playoff game in August.
Yeah, that's a good point.
After play-by-play man John Forslund said, if you think about it, the bubble is a terrific environment. Remember the NHL was playing in the bubble for the whole playoffs and Stanley Cup.
And it's a terrific environment?
With regard to if you enjoy playing and enjoy being with your teammates for long periods of time, it's a perfect place. And then Milbury replied, not even any women here to disrupt your concentration. Oh, my gosh.
I can't believe you repeated that on the air.
Right. Well, he is taking chances today with your program.
Believe you repeated that.
The NHL issued a statement criticizing Milbury's remarks, saying the league condemns the insensitive.
Seriously, that's why the guy got fired?
Insulting comment that Mike made during the last night's broadcast. Now,
why is that insulting? That's a compliment to women.
He apologized. Of course, he bent the knee.
Oh, gosh.
It still didn't work.
My
He didn't announce any more NHL playoff games or Stanley Cup games. And you can tell he meant a lot to NBC Sports, too, because the statement they released yesterday, we're grateful to Mike for all his contributions to our coverage for 14 years, but he will not be returning to our NHL announce team. We wish him well. Take care.
Jeez,
We
man.
appreciate your 14 years of service to us.
Unreal.
But because he said, no, I'm going to
Say it again. You're going to say it again? Oh, wow. Wow.
Not even any women here to disrupt your concentration.
Hey, Corby, did you let both of those through, those instances when he said that?
What a world. What a world.
I mean, we're out of words, man.
I know. And the thing is they all apologize, and it doesn't mean anything.
No, you might as well not apologize. You might as well stick with it.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to double down. Women can be a distraction because we like them. Oh,
Thank
no.
you. What?
Oh, no.
What? I know.
How is that considered offensive by anybody? Really?
That
Because
feels
the
like
NHL
somebody.
values and commitment to making our game more inclusive and welcoming to all.
It feels
That's
like
why.
he's somebody that as soon as he says anything, I want that Mike guy out.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Well, that's about that's possible.
and
Could
they're
be.
just waiting for him to.
That could be.
I don't know.
So we know about Hunter Biden and his sister Ashley and all their problems, but they're not alone. Niece of Joe Biden, daughter of brother James, Carolyn Biden, pleaded guilty to DUI in December and was sentenced to 20 days to 6 months of confinement, Pennsylvania court records show. Now, it's funny how her arraignment was held a day after the presidential election. Now, in Pennsylvania, now a court spokesperson insisted that the date
Nothing
was
to
just
do with it.
auto-generated.
Complete coincidence.
Post-election timing was
Sure.
completely coincidental.
I'm sure that's true.
So she was busted in Pennsylvania in August of
what?
2019, slammed her car into a tree.
Mm-hmm.
The arresting officer said she was driving without a license, had difficulty focusing on the conversation. Her car contained pill bottles of Carisoprodol and lorazepam, just muscle relaxers and, save yourself from going crazy pills, both of which are controlled substances. And a blood test later confirmed those and other drugs in her system at the time of the crash. But she's not going to see any. She's not going to see any time behind bars. She negotiated a plea deal, and instead of jail, she got 5 months plus probation with 20 days of rehab toward her sentence. So they found during the investigation that at least 8 other busts of Biden's resulted in wrist slaps. So she's going to be on probation. If she violates any of the probation, she'll go to jail. Sure.
All right, let me take a minute before your next story and tell you about Omega XL.
Well, before you get to Omega XL, my friend, just let me tell you that Carolyn not only had this problem in Pennsylvania, but she had a problem in New York as well, which she got a wrist slap for a stolen credit card, assaulting an NYPD officer. That's in New York, though. It's not Pennsylvania, so don't worry about it. Omega XL.
If you'd like to stay off drugs, which apparently is a good idea, try Omega XL for your pain, especially if your pain is brought on by inflammation. This is a great way to go because it's not a drug. It's not something that's going to be addictive to you and mess you up and make you feel weird during the day. This is something that just shuts off inflammation and thus ends your pain. Once this builds up in your system for a week or 2 or 3, you're going to find real relief. Backed by 35 years of clinical research, these are just tiny little gel caps that are really easy to take and swallow. And they're so much better than pain relievers or topical rubs that sometimes just mask the problem. For me, they don't even mask the problem. So to get you started, when you order 1 bottle of Omega XL, you'll get a second bottle thrown in for free. That's buy 1, get 1 free. Visit OmegaXL.com/Pat, OmegaXL.com/Pat, or call 800-844-4888.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
And we return to Chewing the Fat with Jeffy.
Just wrap up with just a couple of headlines and a meaning of a word here on Chewing the Fat. Just a couple of headlines that make you say, Trans women retain athletic edge after a year of hormone therapy, says a study.
What? Huh. Who saw that coming?
More Americans okay with babies outside of marriage.
Huh.
It's just so strange. I'm not sure how they get to those studies. And the meaning of a word. The word today, hypocrisy. The practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform.
Huh. Is Twitter pictured in that definition?
There's not enough room to picture the
Jeez.
people who are the hypocrites of this world now, man. It is unbelievable to me, the hypocrisy that we see every day. And we've seen it at an overwhelming amount, especially this last week.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And it's
All of a sudden, Democrats don't like protests.
I know. It's another. It's so strange. I don't really understand.
All of a sudden, Twitter doesn't like being banned. They don't mind banning, but they don't like being banned.
No. Well, they've written up a couple of policies that you have to follow, and if you don't follow them, you get banned. I mean,
right. So is Uganda.
It's
they
company
found out.
policy.
Yeah.
That's company policy.
Yeah, well,
That's
it's
I hate
national
that phrase
policy in
so
Uganda.
much.
Yeah, I do too.
I hate that so much.
They're the worst.
It's
They
company policy
are the
that
worst.
is applied quite unevenly.
It sure is. And companies all over. I mean, I get so angry when I hear people, it's company policy. I can't help you like that. Sorry. It's company policy. Here's an idea. Change the policy and help me out, okay? There we go.
How about that?
There we go. How about that?
888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Anybody want to take a break from the insanity for a minute?
Yes, please.
Hypocrisy.
Yes, please.
From the nightmare of PC. From the election nightmare.
Yes, please.
From the Capitol building nightmare. From now they're saying, please, don't start another huge catastrophe for Republicans by messing with the inauguration. Please, by all that is holy, don't do it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter for now, but maybe Parler very, very soon. We'll see. If Parler ever comes back, and apparently they've got a good lead on a server. Do we know who that is?
Yeah.
Whoever it is should be applauded and mentioned.
And whoever it is, we shouldn't say their name.
Because they're going to get,
they're going to get hammered.
It's going to come out, but.
I don't know.
I know the company. They've said the company. I just can't remember.
And it's something
what it
you've
was.
heard of? Somebody you've.
No.
No? Oh, okay.
But it's apparently home to far right sites.
Oh,
and
of course
stuff.
it is.
What is it called? Anyway, it's just one syllable, and everyone's screaming
We're
right
going to
now.
have a field day with that.
Yeah.
You seen the ratings, by the way, lately for CNN and MSNBC? Jeez. They've been crushing Fox since Wednesday because everybody wants to get one last round of we hate Trump in, I guess.
That's for sure.
Jeez.
That's for sure.
Because Fox's numbers aren't actually down. They're about the same. It's just that CNN and MSNBC exploded, where they're usually in the 1 to 2 million range. They were doing like 5 and 6 million.
Incredible.
Crazy. Just crazy. That's how much the left hates Trump, though.
Boy, no kidding.
So to get away from the insanity.
And they're doing impeachment today.
They're doing? That's right.
Sorry, I don't know. We're walking into insanity.
As I try desperately to get away from the insanity, more of it comes! Yeah, the impeachment vote is today.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to be impeached again.
Yeah, oh yeah, because Pence already said he's not doing the 25th Amendment.
Right.
He sent Nancy a letter. Right, of course. But, they're voting this morning.
And then, seemingly, McConnell is up for conviction.
Yeah, you need...
Right.
So if it's 50-50, right, you'll need 17 Republicans on board. And they're saying right now they think they have 10 to 20 Republican senators who would vote to convict.
So on the 19th, I guess, because are they not coming back still, or are they going to come back early for this? On the 19th, they're going to convict and toss him out of office?
So Trump might have to reschedule the movers, like move him up a day.
Jeez.
So does that mean if they impeach him, does that mean that he can't run again? Because that's their most important thing.
That's
right?
going to be your 14th Amendment fund that they're trying to say that any Republican congressman or senator that didn't vote to certify the elections, or the electors, that you could use the 14th Amendment. They were giving aid and comfort. That was insurrection. They were helping
shut up.
So we should kick all these Republicans out of office too, and then put that under
tired of that.
Trump under that umbrella.
So over the insurrection nonsense. That was the crappiest insurrection in the history of insurrections, if that's what that was.
Yeah.
If you're doing an insurrection unarmed and just breaking a few windows, you're doing it wrong. That's a bad insurrection. Jeez. Stop it with the insurrection nonsense.
I love the guy that was arrested, the guy with the horns, and he was considered the QAnon shaman.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
they're calling him a Viking or something.
Well, he's been in jail, and he's been on a hunger strike.
Oh, no.
Because it's not...
organic.
Yeah. So they're going to feed him now organic food. The judge said, yeah, you got to give him...
Tell me that's a conservative insisting on organic food. Tell me that. No. Come on.
Come on now.
Come on now. There's your first clue. He's an infiltrator.
Okay, just to rewind a couple of minutes, you did promise that we would have some fun.
Didn't I, though?
Yeah, here we go.
I did. You're right.
We're gonna have fun. That's how easy it is to fall into this.
So stop bringing up garbage. Stop it. All right. We're going to talk about The Mandalorian here.
Oh, nice.
In a way that if you haven't seen it yet and you're saving it, you might want to turn it down for a minute because the season 2 finale of Mandalorian was, as this article states, one of the greatest Star Wars moments of all time. I really believe that.
It was awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. And for all of the I'm not a Star Wars fanatic.
Yeah.
But, my son is, obviously, and I know all of you guys are. And he was just through the roof over the episode. We were watching them together. And it was fun to watch. It was fun. It was a good season.
Sure was.
Season 2 was a good season.
Yeah, it was all the way through. It was pretty good.
Honestly, the very last moments of that episode, I think if we were in a society where it just ran... we used to have appointment watching, and everybody the next day at work was talking about the MASH finale, right?
Right.
So if we were a society where it used to be like that 20, 30 years ago, I think everybody would have been talking about that.
Oh, for sure.
As it stands now, you stream it, you watch it when you want to, you wait a while. Anyway.
And some people like to wait till the whole thing has been posted, and then you can watch it, binge it all the way through, which is a good way to go for me. I like that.
And
I do, too.
And I just think that the way our society is set up with streaming and whatnot, that's the only reason that it has dampened whatever impact that show had.
You're right.
Because it was so good.
So good. This article I read on it really sums it up nicely. When all hope seems lost for our heroes trying to rescue the child, formerly known as Baby Yoda.
Grogu.
A lone X-Wing arrives on Moff Gideon's ship. Out steps a hooded figure with a green lightsaber who slices their way through dozens of elite droid soldiers. The warrior fights to the deck of the ship and is revealed to be a Luke Skywalker.
I know. It was awesome.
Spoiler alert.
So good.
It was awesome. When he came in, Max was like, "Is that Luke?"
I mean, everybody had that thought, but I kind of dismissed it because there's no way. They're not doing that. That would be too good. That'd be too good. And how are they going to do it? Are they going to spend enough money to do really good CGI?
Yes, they did.
And they did.
The green lightsaber didn't tip you off? Huh?
Yeah, it did. I thought, but I just figured.
Yeah, but even before that, like when he flew, when the ship flew in, it was like, okay, who was that?
I sort of half expected the Jedi. We saw the female Jedi with the weird things that come down.
The first thought,
I kind of half expected her, but nope.
And she was great.
She was good. But he was there to take Grogu.
Okay, that we need to revisit that. There's no justice there.
Who knows why that name was chosen? But apparently, he's going to train him as a Jedi, which is cool because he's the only other type of species of Yoda we've ever seen, in the Star Wars saga. So, really cool, and it kind of makes you wonder what season 3 will be about. Is it going to focus? Is Luke going to be a part of it?
I don't know.
Are they going to get the Mandalorian
training
and the baby back together? What is going to happen?
We have to wait until 2022.
Did you see the thing?
Oh, really?
2022?
Yeah,
I thought they were going to do it in December next year. This year.
COVID fun. No, December this year is going to be Christmas Day is the Boba Fett show is going to start.
Oh, right.
Remember the last? Did you stay for it
after the credits
yeah.
was Boba Fett walking into the Jabba the Hutt palace and taking it over.
Yeah.
So
his show starts on Christmas, and then 2022 will be Mandalorian. Thank you, COVID.
That'll be fun, though.
It will.
It
will.
Fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Did you watch Tiger yet on HBO?
No.
From HBO
I just
Sports?
saw that there was that available.
That's awesome. Well, the first one aired this Sunday. The second one's airing this weekend.
They talk about his little indiscretions?
Well, the first part of it was an hour and a half, and it's all the build-up. Mm-hmm. The beginning, the dad's friend, what really got the Tiger mindset, the wedding. The dad really thought Tiger was going to be this great earthly being to bring everyone together. And then
rather than a golfer, he was going to be
right. I mean, as a golfer, as a golfer,
the chosen one to bring America.
Golfer, he was going to be the chosen one. Yeah,
nice. Okay.
And so then at the end, we find out what really brought on the affairs and the feeling of where he always had to be around the women. And now the next part 2 will be all that stuff,
all the indiscretions.
Yeah, which will be great, which I'm looking forward to.
Are they showing any of the golfing? Does it?
Yeah, the whole. I mean, the first part was the whole build up in the beginning, from the 2-year-old to just before it all fell apart. Really good.
So you recommend it?
I do.
Tiger is it on HBO?
HBO, yeah.
All right. 888-933-93. Also, astronomers have for the first time witnessed the death of an entire galaxy. Did you read about that? You see it in the paper today? Kevin, you see that? Did you read about that?
That is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It really is, Kevin. They describe it as a truly extreme event. Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Wait, was Thanos nearby? Good grief.
When all the stars in a galaxy die and new ones are no longer forming, the galaxy itself ceases to exist. And that occurs when all of the galaxy's gas is ejected. So it makes this sort of trail of gas, and that's what they saw happening. Now it took 9 billion years for the light from that event to reach us. So this happened 9 billion years ago. Think that is just absolutely incredible.
They have found a couple of really cool things in the near past. I don't know what story you have in front of you, but I know that they have a black hole has gone missing.
It's gone missing.
It's gone missing. We don't know what happened to it. We don't know if it
get
disappeared.
Sucked into another black hole?
They don't know. They don't know. It was there. They don't know if it's getting ready to
I didn't see that.
Expand into another black hole, if it's going to crash into another black hole.
Can that happen?
If another black...
We don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And they found a new superhighway.
In space?
In space.
What do you
between Jupiter and Neptune and
paved?
These new superhighways. And the superhighways, instead of taking, millions of years to get places, you take, maybe 10,000 years. That these rocks and superhighways go into and then shoot through.
Like a wormhole?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So if we can start, utilizing that,
then you can get somewhere.
now you might be able to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
So they found a wormhole? Sort of?
It's they're calling it a superhighway, but
Well, that's a stupid name for it. It's not a highway. Okay. Is there any pavement? No, they haven't paved it.
no, they haven't.
If it's not paved, it's a wormhole.
No, they haven't. And they've really let the infrastructure go. So
Just like we have.
yeah, I know. The bridges are down, everything.
Also, the Juno spacecraft orbiting Jupiter has discovered an FM radio signal coming from the moon Ganymede. The find is the first detection of this kind. Juno was traveling across the polar region of Jupiter, where magnetic fields connect to Ganymede, when it crossed the radio source. Scientifically, it's called a decametric radio emission.
Yeah.
Here on Earth, we know it as Wi-Fi, and we use it every day. What?
I am lost.
What? I thought Wi-Fi had to be installed. Right? Somebody install this Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Frontier backed the van up. And backed the van
So
up
they
to
were
the
sick
moon.
of their 4 and 5G coverage up there, and they
Yeah.
finally installed Wi-Fi to make it a little faster.
Just at the polar region of the moon, though. That's it.
Jupiter's radio emissions were discovered in 1955, and over the last 66 years, more and more discoveries have been made about how the signals work. A member of the Salt Lake Astronomical Society once built an amateur radio telescope that could detect the electromagnetic radiation from Jupiter. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
That's no big deal.
Just hang out.
Tell us about it.
Nah, it's embarrassing.
What do you, that sounds
I don't
pretty
want to show you
amazing.
guys up. Yeah, it is. It is, but I don't want to brag.
Just like on a 3-day weekend?
Yeah.
When you got nothing else to do?
It's, I think it was actually a 4-day weekend. I think I took the
okay.
Friday, came back on the Tuesday.
I was about to say.
But I had it done by then. So, I love these space stories.
I know. They're awesome.
I love them. And Elon Musk, who, by the way, doesn't like Facebook. You read that? Did you read about that? You see that in the paper today? It's crazy. Kevin, did you see that?
It is crazy, yeah.
Elon Musk was going after Facebook a little bit, and so we'll tell you about that in a minute.
It's tease.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. Right into that, Kevin. First, let me tell you about Keeps. If you notice your hair isn't as full and luxurious and fabulous as it once was, it really sucks to see your hair falling out of your head. So here's some options. You can go to your doctor for a hair loss prescription, then visit the pharmacy and pay an exorbitant price, or you can try Keeps from the comfort of your own home. Keeps, you'll get the same doctor-recommended, FDA-approved hair loss product, but Keeps offers the generic versions for about half the price. Now, you just go online at keeps.com/Pat, answer some questions, and take some photos, post those, then a licensed doctor reviews all that, and we'll send you the right hair care treatment for you. And in about 90% of the cases, it stops the hair loss. 67 or 8% of men experience hair regrowth. So this just shows you don't have to put up with baldness anymore. We'll get you started with a great deal, too. Go to keeps.com, keeps.com/Pat. Get 50% off your first order. That's in addition to the money you save, because these are the generic versions. And we get you an additional 50% off your first order. Keeps.com/Pat. Good morning, everybody. Traffic and weather together every 7 minutes on the force. All morning long. Beautiful, beautiful morning. High of about, 60 degrees, I believe, at the DFW this
That's correct.
Beautiful, sunshiny, wintry day. Good morning.
That's correct. Cold front coming through tomorrow evening, though.
Is there?
Yeah, it's going to get back down a little colder.
Going to be a little nipply then.
It's going to be a nipply, that's for sure.
All right. You found some extra information
Well,
on the...
I was just talking about these
on the
superhighways.
space superhighway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They consist of a series of connected arches inside these invisible structures called space manifolds. And each planet...
Whoa. Do you mean space womanifold? I mean...
Point of personal privilege.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay. All right.
So the story... Okay. The story mentions manifolds. It doesn't mention
womanifolds.
And each planet generates its own manifolds.
Or womanifold.
Together creating what researchers have called the true celestial Autobahn. So
we're not listening to you.
I know.
You pissed us off.
Sorry. Okay.
You need to pre-read your stories where you sit down and start spewing hate.
And figure out how you
it's
can remove.
It's in the story. Okay, hater.
Of course it is. There's plenty of haters left who are writing stories. We don't have to read their garbage, however. Got this from Duct Tape Freak. There was one more of Yoda's species in the movies. Yaddle had a brief appearance in The Phantom Menace. What?
Yaddle?
No, I don't believe that. I've never heard of Yaddle. Have you heard of Yaddle?
Okay, here's what's happening right now. You're reading this tweet.
Yes.
That is from someone who knows a lot about the franchise.
Okay.
I'm hearing in my ear it's in the celebration scene.
It's in the celebration at the
what's
end
the rest
of the
of
movie?
that, Daniel? Celebration scene at the what? When they're all celebrating.
Yeah. At the end of the
At
movie.
the end of the movie. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So there you go.
And we see Yaddle there. How do we know his name is Yaddle?
I don't know.
Weird. Okay.
And what movie was that again? Phantom
Menace. Mm-hmm.
Because George Lucas says so. Okay.
All right. From Landrew, Star Wars is nothing without Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True, right?
So true. Pat's facial adhesive strips. Tweets, which, by the way, I don't have anymore because I got the surgery. And this one, actually, the one on my nose was done by a plastic surgeon. Sewed me back up.
Right.
And I think it's healing pretty well, right?
Yeah,
This one is
looks
still
fine.
pretty visible.
Yeah, but
it's
not bad.
I mean, it doesn't.
But I had
stand
10
out.
stitches, and they said it would be 6 months to a year before complete healing would occur. 6
It's in a
months
good.
to
It's in a good
year.
spot though, because you can't even.
Yeah.
notice.
Didn't they give you?
Yeah.
Didn't they give you some cream or something to put on that?
No,
bad
they
boy?
said leave it alone now. They said just leave it alone.
No, they don't know what they're talking about. There's
Really? They don't know what they know.
They don't know
Yeah.
what they're talking
Yeah, but if you
about.
put cream
gotta
on in the
there's-
summertime, then
there's
it's
some
gonna
kind of, there's
bleach.
facial cream
Yeah.
that can go on there and
There's
heal
facial
that up
cream that can
faster.
go up there.
That can put it on, make it heal faster.
All right.
You got a
anyway.
guy. You know a guy.
Yes, I do. Yeah, your doctors don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'll tell you.
Are you about to quit to sell this facial cream?
Yes,
That can. Wow. Huh.
yes, I am. It's very
With Joanna
important.
Gaines? Me too. Me too. Anyway, Pat's facial adhesive strips tweets, if the black hole is missing, why hasn't it shown up on a milk carton?
Boom, thank you. That's funny, Jay.
That is funny.
Bradley S. Collins tweets, there are superhighways in space, but there are no roads between Keith's house and Pat's house. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. Amy What's-Her-Face tweets, gee, thanks for spoiling the destruction of the galaxy. I hadn't seen the light from it yet.
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
Sorry, dang. Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, that light, I think it lasted like 4 seconds. We got it for that length of time after 9 billion years of travel. Think of that, though. That's incredible that two galaxies, first of all, can collide, and then one destroys the other. That's amazing. Galaxies are pretty big places.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's pretty immense. And for two of them to smash into each other, what the heck? If there was life in that galaxy,
It's probably no more.
probably no more.
It's probably no more. It's probably a good bet that there's no more.
Yeah. They got nothing to go home to now. All right. 888-900-3393. Citing censorship concerns, North Idaho internet provider has blocked Facebook and Twitter. I love this.
Yeah.
A North Idaho internet provider, Your T1 Wi-Fi, confirmed it's blocking Facebook and Twitter from its Wi-Fi service for some customers due to censorship claims. Your T1 Wi-Fi provides internet services to North Idaho and the Spokane area. The move comes after Twitter and Facebook banned President Trump. Social media sites banned the president due to violations of their terms of service, as we all know.
Give me an example.
Because, I mean, they are so picky about who says what, and that's why nobody can say anything insulting now on the internet, on Twitter at least,
Right.
or Facebook. They're really good about policing all of that. If you were to scan Twitter right now, there wouldn't be one mean thing on it. Not one.
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah, no, absolutely no, not really. So
Yeah, I love what they actually. Then they Twitter and Facebook were not happy with this. So they're obviously coming after them, but then they actually backed off a little bit.
yeah, well, supposedly it violates Washington State's net neutrality law.
So then they said, "Well, we're just blocking it. If you want it, you ask for it, we'll give it to you." And then they said, "Well, what we'll do is if you say something, we'll give it to you, and if you haven't said that you don't want it, we'll give it to you." So it's just, it's almost nothing now.
Yeah, that is nothing now. if you haven't said
If you haven't said you don't want it, you can get it.
You just don't
yeah.
go to it.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. That's a
So
powerful
I
stance.
appreciate them trying, though.
I do too.
Seriously.
I do too. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Let me take a minute and tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. If you're trying to sell your home right now or you're looking to buy, maybe you want to do both because you're relocating to a new area. You got to sell on one end, buy on the other. You want realtors who really know their market, really know the field, really know what buyers are looking for in a home, and know how to work with the sellers to get you the best price and the most home for your money. Really important to have realtors with great track records. Now, this is Glenn's Real Estate Agents I Trust is Glenn's company, and so his team really closely vets these realtors. And one of the things I like best about all of these realtors is that they're fans of the show, and so you have a lot in common with them. As you're driving around areas, you're not going to hear things that are going to piss you off. Chances are. So go to realestateagentsitrust.com. The name really says it all. Realestateagentsitrust.com. That's realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Got some tweets here. Andy Albertini tweets, so you're telling us science has discovered the big frog in space. You need to add beyond the bandwidth and the galaxy.
Right.
Sweater Yams tweets, ones acquire a whole new appreciation for Jar Jar. When you probably should be one acquires, not ones acquire. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. One acquires a whole new appreciation for Jar Jar. When you watch the Clone Wars series, yes, it's a cartoon, but tons of info.
Yeah, I've heard
that's the Mandalorian uses a lot of that info, and thankfully I have my son who has gone through all the Clone Wars.
Yep.
So I don't have to. I don't have to do it, and he can just say he can let me know.
He explains everything.
Yes,
that's what my kids do when we
yeah.
watch The Mandalorian. Yeah, because they watch the Clone Wars
Thank
thing.
you.
Yeah.
From Aaron Grenade, galaxies. What about galaxies?
Right?
Exactly. Where's our guy?
Gal, get it? The
Point of
guy.
personal privilege.
Right, go ahead. Yeah.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking at this. Somebody actually printed up a photo of Yaddle.
Oh yeah, Corby looked into this for us in the other room there.
And it is a female of Yoda's species. Show it again, if you would. There you go. Okay. Yeah, all right. Look at that. There's Yaddle.
That's one.
I guess you see her
looking thing.
No.
in the celebration scene at the end of Phantom Menace. Now, how do you know what her name is? Was she wearing a name tag?
Yeah, I don't.
Hi, my name is Yaddle.
I'm here for Yoda business.
I don't know how you know her name is. I mean, that's a little geeky, isn't it? Right?
Yes, you know that's
A little.
That's
Just
a
a
character
tad.
that was at the party. I'm sure that what's his face, Mr. Star Wars, was asked about it. Lucas was asked about it at some Comic Con, and he's that's Yaddle. Well, okay, thank you.
And that's the first word that came to his mind. He hadn't really thought about it. What? No. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. Yaddle. We'll go with Yaddle.
we'll
Is
go
the
with
name
Yaddle.
of that
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, you got Yoda and Yaddle.
Yoda and Yaddle.
Yaddle.
And then baby Grogu was born.
That's right, a little business.
Are we ruining this?
Oh, man.
Baby Grogu was born.
So don't tell me that I'm not part of Coruscant because you got your Yoda and your Yaddle. 4 years later,
Baby
Yoda was born.
Yep.
All right.
So bad.
888-900-3393. We've got this person giving some black history here, which I absolutely love. The Black History UK.
Yeah, it's a Facebook channel. I'm not familiar with it, but this guy had this 15-minute long rant that was so good, and we decided to pull out a little bit of it.
Because he says, once again, black people did not peep the game.
Yeah, you don't peep the game.
You don't peep the game.
Peep the game?
Come on.
Hello.
He peeps the game, and he explains it to you here.
America is a republic. They want America to be a democracy. You've never seen nothing good happen from democracy, just like you ain't seen nothing good happen from a Democrat.
Right.
There's no such thing as democracy. Democracy is everything y'all hate. Tyranny, dictatorship, everything. America is a republic by the people, for the people. You do your research. We have a lot to do with what America is today. Us. What y'all call black people, but you ain't black. But I got to say it so y'all understand what I'm talking about. Listen to what I'm saying. Stay out of these folks' way. These folks done bypassed all these black folks in D.C. They ain't go down one street. They ain't harass one person, not one Karen, not one Tom. They have not bothered black people at all. They went straight to the Capitol. They went straight to Capitol Hill. So don't tell me this is a race war. Don't tell me that.
Stuff.
There is no reason for anyone to think this is a race war when it's white folks going against white folks. It's going against white folks. So what I'm telling you all to do is to get your mind, cut CNN off.
Thank you.
Cut CNN off for at least a day. Cut CNN off, pretend you're not black, and look at the world for once in your life from an unfiltered lens.
Wow.
This is not about race. These white folks know that they want to turn the country into a communist country. Kamala Harris got a socialism commercial. Y'all don't see the writing on the wall? This the problem. We had hieroglyphics, but we didn't learn nothing. We had ancient Kemet, but we didn't learn nothing. We had great civilizations, but we didn't learn nothing. We conquered the world, but we didn't learn nothing. We done did all this in the world, and we falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Come on, man. We got to stop this. We got to stop this. I don't care what black person they put in your face. If they in politics and they a black person, they make it, and they're a Democrat, they not for you, period. And guess what? They ain't let no black person or Republican make it. So I'm telling you what the difference is. It ain't about Democrat or Republican. It's not what it's about. This is about America being America. I'm telling you what these liberals want. They want America to be a third world country.
Thank you. Yes.
I've just fallen in love.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
You like that guy?
I know.
Yeah. I love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
Was it how he looks? Was it the words he said?
Yes.
Was it?
It was all of the above.
Wow.
All of
You
it.
love him so much,
Infatuated.
why don't you marry him?
I love him. I would if I could. It'd be polygamy at that point. So I'm not going to do it. But man, I
Isn't that great?
would if I could. Yes,
Wasn't
that's
that
so
That is
great.
awesome.
That is so great. Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
And see, he is exactly right. Nancy Pelosi, they all want to make this about race. Where does that come into any of this?
I don't know, but suddenly it's a race war.
Yeah.
We heard that from dumbass Hank Johnson yesterday. One of the dumbest people to ever enter Congress. Seriously, he is butt stupid.
Yes.
So is Maxine Waters. And these people are firing up their base and getting them all hopped up over a race war. What are you talking about? Insurrection and race war. Those are the two big themes that have been attached to this. It was a protest, which you supposedly love. I thought you loved protests. I thought that was the American way to protest. And that's what they were doing. They protested and got it a little out of hand. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. It was ugly.
But it was not an insurrection. Again, if that was an insurrection or a race war, you had the dumbest race war insurrectionists of all time. These are butt stupid people. If that's how they tried to pull off an insurrection, what are you going to jump into the? You're going to jump into the floor of the House, and then what? You're not armed. You're gonna. What are you going to do to take?
I'm going to take the lectern.
Control of it.
I'm going to take the lectern.
You're going to take the lectern.
Yeah,
all right, and get a
via,
selfie with it.
Via Getty already got it.
Oh yeah, via Getty.
The fight via Getty for it. I mean, listen to these Democrat leaders. Representative Jim Clyburn. Quote, "This is an attempt by a racist president to do his part to start what would be tantamount to a race war in this country." I mean, you talk about a stretch here.
Not one black person was harmed in the making of that insurrection and race war. No, it is, again, those are really bad.
Right.
They are bad at what they do, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
so ridiculous to call that a race war or an insurrection.
In fact, there's a video out there. They walked right by a Capitol Hill police officer, a black guy, and as they're walking by, he said, "I don't agree with it, but I respect it." Why didn't they just, if it's a race war, why wouldn't they just beat him into submission right there instead of him just congratulating them effectively for come on in?
It's a race war where, for the most part, other than the cop, who it's really murky as to what happened to the one police officer. I mean, has it been confirmed that he was beaten with a fire extinguisher? Because I don't think so.
I don't know. We've seen footage of a fire extinguisher being thrown.
It was thrown, and was it thrown at the police officer?
I think that they say that it hit the police officer. Ugh. I've seen that footage. I don't know if it was that police officer.
All right. But other than that, the 4 people who died were the Trump insurrectionists.
Yeah.
You're doing a pretty crappy job.
But they have to add that to the list, though, because it makes it sound worse.
Yeah, yes. Right.
And an insurrection, you think an armed militia coming in and taking over a government by force.
Yes, exactly.
If there was one MAGA hat wearing or one Trump flag carrying person who had a weapon, then every headline you would see right now would be
featuring that photo.
Armed protesters.
For sure. Yeah.
Armed.
And I've seen
it doesn't matter what the weapon is, that would be the headline.
Yep.
It was a spontaneous.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. It was a spontaneous, they said in Benghazi. That was the lie they tried to give us. It actually was a spontaneous reaction in the moment.
And the way these people lie, America should understand, because we have seen it. For example, in Benghazi.
That was a movie that caused that. And they were all upset about a movie that was done, and the movie did it. It was the movie.
Right, they even arrested the guy.
Yeah, we got the guy who did the movie. That was a terrible movie, and he did some mean things in the movie.
I could barely sit through that movie. I wanted to get up and start fighting people.
Like 15 people saw that movie, too. It was like 15.
It was
a lot.
More people saw it on the Pat and Stu show.
Thank you.
I guarantee you that.
There's no doubt about it.
It was the dumbest thing.
It was horrible.
If you were drawn to anger and rage from that crappy piece of third grade work,
only been enraged by the quality of the movie that you just sat through. That's what pissed you off. Yeah. So ridiculous. So we should understand the fact that these guys lie through their teeth every chance they get. All right, let me tell you about Built Bar. Built Bar is the secret to keeping your New Year's resolution to eating healthier, because it allows you to enjoy something like a little snack between meals. It's healthier than your favorite protein bar and better tasting than your favorite candy bar. They're low calorie, low sugar, high protein. They're fantastic. Each bar has only 110 to 160 calories. And they come in some delicious flavors. My favorite is the caramel brownie. But there's also cookies and cream, which I love. The coconut almond, the raspberry, peanut butter, mint brownie. There's something for everybody's
I'd like to
taste.
try one now.
You should try one.
Around?
Yeah. I think I ate the last
you think
5 or 6
so you're
that
not,
were hanging around. No, I can't remember exactly. Right. I can't
I'll just
remember.
have to go to the website.
Yeah, you'll have to do that. They're also covered in 100% chocolate. Don't give up on your resolution. Built Bar is the answer for you. Go to BuiltBar.com. Use the promo code PAT20. You'll get 20% off your next order. Use the promo code PAT20 for 20% off at BuiltBar.com. Yeah. That's right, Mama. Baby.
Pat Gray returns.
Exactly. Thank you for returning with us, Mama.
Back up on in here.
Wow.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, the 70s songs that contain the lyrics "Mama," like that's a
every other
song. Like, hey, that's a one hot mama. What a weird thing that is now in 2021 to hear that. It's like, couldn't you have picked a better word for that? It just sounds, I don't know, icky now.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeffy's not going down that road with
us. Sounds icky now.
You are one hot mama.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Oh, yeah. Come on up here, Mama.
Mama, come on up, Mama. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, that doesn't work for me. Mm-mm. No. Did you see Netflix is planning a huge movie year, especially with the theaters in disarray right now because, people are afraid to go or they're closed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how the movie theater industry is going to. Cinemark and AMC.
They're trying to hang
survive?
on. They're trying to hang on, and they're getting their cut from the streaming of the films, right? If they don't go to the theaters, that new deal that they made gives them a cut of that. Are they getting a piece of the
streaming pie?
Yeah.
Oh.
So for
they're
going to
need
movies. I know. I don't think it's going to be enough. But.
So Netflix is taking advantage of all this by releasing 70 original movies in 2021.
Wow.
70!
Let's hope they're good.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter to me because I don't have Netflix anymore. You know what? I haven't even missed it. I don't even care. It doesn't bother me at all.
Right.
Not to have Netflix. It might once these movies start rolling.
Right.
It might change.
Test that principle.
Yes. We'll have a good test this year. But the lineup of movies includes.
I'll rent you my password.
Will you?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife would kill me. But that has nothing to do with it. This is just my decision alone.
Yeah.
I don't even care that she doesn't want me to.
Pat's
that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Pat's going to be on his phone in the closet at his house watching the new movie.
But they've got their most expensive movie coming out to date. I don't know what they paid for it. It doesn't say here, but Red Notice. It's an action movie starring Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, yeah, The Rock.
Ryan Reynolds. And Gal Gadot.
Think of that.
Wow.
Those are some big names right now in Hollywood, man.
I mean, 3 of the biggest names. Wow. There's also The Kissing Booth.
I mean, it's no Wonder Woman 84.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Is that the worst movie
horrible.
maybe in the last 10 years?
Just bad.
It's just so...
It's just a...
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's the worst movie, I think, in a huge release like this that's been so hyped.
Right.
The worst one since Indiana Jones 4 or 5, whatever that was, The Crystal Skull. That one was so stinking bad.
Wow.
I appreciate you guys watching it for me.
It's bad. Yeah, you don't want to see it.
No,
it's just
I wanted it to be good.
So did I.
I mean, I love the character. I love a lot of the actors, and it was just not good.
Story was ridiculous.
Just not good.
The special effects were like they were from 1984.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Just a bad movie. Plus, here's a spoiler alert for you.
Oh, no.
She flies.
Right.
On her own.
Oh, wow.
Since when does Wonder Woman fly? She has a plane. She's got an invisible plane because she can't fly. So that she flies in the plane. Nope, not anymore.
But they set
she
that
flies.
up with the stupid boyfriend that came back talking about how you fly.
Yeah.
He
taught her how to fly.
Shut up.
Yeah, he taught her how to fly by herself, not in an airplane.
Right.
Whoa. I thought this movie was about female empowerment. What's a dude doing teaching her a skill?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened at all.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know.
But it's just bad. And plus, even these actors are some of the top actors, and they really didn't do a good job of acting.
No, they didn't.
They just kind of...
I thought Chris Pine?
Yeah.
Chris Pine was okay. I thought he was pretty good.
Chris.
He was better than anybody else in the movie. And Gal Gadot wasn't even good.
No, she was not good at all. I mean, she was not good at all.
With her, it sort of doesn't matter because it's just like if she shows up, you're interested, right? but she was
that's not the point. I mean,
I know, but she did show up, and that's about all she did.
And the bad thing is she spoke.
Yes.
I mean, they've got big name actors lined up for these movies.
Yeah,
I know.
Halle Berry, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence. Let's see. Directors like Spike Lee, George Clooney, Gina Prince Bythewood.
Everybody wants that Netflix.
I don't know who that is.
My list has Dwayne, future President Rock Johnson.
Yeah, I already mentioned him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
Oh.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's the guy with Hamilton.
Yes.
Boy.
Yeah. He wrote that. He wrote Hamilton, right?
All, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got in trouble for it because it was pro-America. And then he's like, well, yeah, but wait.
No, it's not pro-America.
No, there were some mean things about America in there. We did bad things. All right.
Yeah, he's working on a follow-up, and I'm sure it will be...
Oh, it'll be huge.
Less pro-America.
Probably. So, let's see. The streaming service has scaled up its operations under film chief Scott Stuber, adding action movies Extraction, The Old Guard,
Yeah,
Spencer
that was
Confidential.
Really good. I like
what
The Old
was?
Guard. The Old Guard.
Who's in that?
That was really good. I don't remember.
Oh.
I just enjoyed the movie.
Okay. So anyway, they're going to release movies in almost every genre: action, horror, comedy, thriller, drama, western.
Yeah, I mean everybody wants to hit
everything.
that Netflix money, man.
Yeah,
and they are just. I mean, they're growing globally. The United States, I forget how many subscribers they have here in the U.S. It probably says
lot.
in that story, but
it doesn't.
Those numbers are growing globally.
Well, globally, I think they've got 160 million people. Can you imagine 160 million people paying $15 a month?
Yeah, and they're all not paying that because they've given some deals for your phone.
No, but the
Netflix
average,
and
it's
stuff.
probably an average of $12, $13
But even
a month.
if it's $10 a month,
yeah, you're making almost $2 billion a month.
That's not a bad month.
That's not bad.
That's not a bad month.
No.
I mean,
and then there's other months where you
really,
yes, where you accumulate that same amount of money
or more.
Yeah, or more. So over the year, you're looking at going on $30 billion a year.
That's not a bad year.
That's not a bad year.
No, that's not. That's not a bad year.
You should be able to make a fairly decent living on $30 billion a year. I mean, maybe that's me.
Well, they got a lot of bills. They're making they got a lot of bills.
Actually,
I know
they do.
I know, big time.
Yeah, they do.
I'm looking at a chart here. I mean, they've gone up every quarter as far back
Have
as
they?
this goes. Boy, big spike.
So
early 2020.
Are they over 200 million already yet, or are they still at
195?
Yeah.
Oh, 195 now.
Yeah.
So that's even better.
But boy,
Jeez.
they really grew once the lockdowns began.
Sure, because
Yeah.
what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? And especially if you want to see movies, that's what this article is all about.
Yeah.
You can't go to the movie theater in some places. They're still closed.
I know.
Like in California, in New York, you can't go to a movie. That's amazing. Still, we're going on a year now.
Yeah.
So these poor movie theaters, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah,
And you talk about Hamilton. I mean, the plays; those are all gone. Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Closed. They're not even
Right.
They're not even open until next year, I think. Again.
What?
Maybe they were looking at.
It's New York.
They were looking
Panic.
at some of later this year, but I mean,
Really? So Broadway has been
think of
closed
that
for going on a year.
And that infrastructure.
Yeah.
I mean, those people
Right.
have been out
Well,
of
the
work, man.
restaurants,
all of it,
the shops,
all of it.
everything.
Yeah, but until further notice, theater parking lots are good places to teach your teenagers how to drive.
Okay.
So there's that.
All right. Good.
Found a silver
Okay.
lining for you. There.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the theater's not making any money from that, but at least it's a convenience to some people in the area. So good. All right, good.
You'd rather my kids drive there than on the roads.
Bright
Trust
spot.
me.
Yes, I'm sure.
I'd rather have someone else teach them how to drive too.
All right. 888-900-3393. That's the number you can use tomorrow when we will do this all over again, only different. So,
And then Friday,
see you then.
we're going to have more on trivia. It's going to be the Old Man Bowl, Tampa Bay and New Orleans.
Oh, nice.
43-year-old quarterback versus a 41-year-old quarterback.
First time in history playoff
Wow.
between two 40-year-old quarterbacks.
Crazy. Should be fun. See you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.